reason why that I'm gonna bolt. The reason why I'm gonna bolt these legs on here, because I don't want to take a chance of warping this piece of steel. I mean, it'd be pretty hard to warp a piece of 1-inch thick steel, but you know, you gotta heat it up pretty hot to get that weld to penetrate. And if it doesn't penetrate, you don't heat it up enough, it ain't gonna stick. So I don't want to worry about that. Not getting hot enough to get good penetration, and then I don't want to worry about it warping the table. The tables right now is really flat. I want to keep it that way, and it's not that big a deal when I'm just bolting these on here. Get that last little burr off of there. Not much, but there's a little bit. Okay. I'm ready to put a leg together now. This over here. Set that there. See, I want the seam in the back. Okay. And we'll use this piece of metal right here. This is the back side. Okay, so let's go this way, so we're going to turn it this way. Alright. Now we're about 1/2 inch. Piece of 1.5 inch threaded rod. This is what they use when they bolt the big pipes together. I found this at scrapyard years ago. It's the last one I got, which is a bummer. And then the nuts, I sawed the nuts in half, and they're going to wind up going on here. I'm machining true again too, and they're going to wind up going on this piece here. I'm going to cut it in half so they don't need that much adjustment. And then the second one will be a lock nut on there. I'm thinking about this hole right here is going to get enlarged for this. Go up in there. I'm thinking about threading these plates out. But right now, I only drilled a 1/2 inch hole in them because I need to use them for this. But I don't want, when I weld this plate out, I don't want this plate sticking on it. So I drilled an extra hole through the center of this piece of steel right here. And this plate right here is really used to bolt this thing together so it'll stay true when I weld it. And the square tubing is 3-inch square tubing, and the plate's 6 inches square. So that means that gives me 1.5 inches on each side. Well, I got 1.5 inch block right here holding it up, 1.5 inches. This is setting flat and level. So all I got to do is measure it sideways and tighten this bolt up, and I got my leg, that top plate exactly where I want it, because that end's been milled off. Like I said, in the milling machine to get it really square. Can't wait to get my bigger mill. Feel good. We're down on this. We'll slide this out here farther. We're down on that good right there. This piece of steel right here. And this one's going to go on here now. Raise it up to the stair. I don't know how many tons is on that thing right now, but there's a lot. It ain't moving. And now I can flip it up and put it on the vise over there and get me some real nice welds in the V's over here, and everything is good. when I get done welding this in here on, I got these pieces here already made up. This is going to be the wheels for it. The wheel's going to run on this. They come off of a battery-powered forklift you walk around with or something. Really nice heavy wheels. And another piece of metal go. I'll show you that when I get to it. That's the wheel's going to go on the backside. Okay, that one's done. Well, I'm going to clamp the other one up and I'll get back with you. While I was welding this other piece of steel on there, got the other one already welded up. I was thinking when I welded it up, it'd be a perfect, way to explain to you why I would go through all this. And this is insane to tap this many holes in a piece of steel. But if you restrain your parts, if you can clamp your parts down where they don't move, if you can clamp them down solid, like I did this piece of steel on this thing with this threaded rod all the way through here. Well, I didn't play around with that threaded rod. I didn't play around tacking the thing all the way around here, all that garbage, and hoping it didn't move or nothing. I just took the thing over there, threw it in the vise on the 45, preheated it, and let it get hot beat in there. Well, normally the thing would warp like crazy, but when you restrain it, there's no gap there at all because it can't move. So that's what the purpose of this table is. I can clamp my parts down this table and lock them down good and solid, put them where I want them, and I want them to stay where I put them at. I mean, there's going to be a microscopic amount of warpage that you can't get out, can't prevent. But this is a perfect example. It's still touching right here. On the other side, normally that plate would pull away from there when it shrinks whenever that weld cools on the other side, but not one little bit. This is great. Love it. It is definitely, I can't wait to use this table. Okay, that's all welded on. We're done with that part now. And about 3:30 in the morning, I think I'm going to quit here, but I'm going to get this partly set up. What do I do with my wheel now? There's right down there. Alright, that's got to go this way right here. Ooh. I just want to make sure I don't weld this in the wrong spot. Okay, that's going on there. So, need another big wrench. I'll finish this tomorrow. You should be able to take just slide this thing here down this way. Aha. Yes. And I should be able to take and slightly snug this so I don't get too tight on me. Okay. Well, that's really close. It's really close. It's down just a little bit. So you're going to raise it up just a little bit. That's probably going to be enough. Got to find the shim to get that wheel so I can get it up real place and clamp it, and then measure the length of it. I went 32 inches overall from there to the bottom of the wheel, so we got to come back out a little bit. I think I have a 3-inch overlap on here, and about there. And I'll have to shim this under here till this here gets level right here. This is 3 inch, this is 3 inch right here. and clamp it in place. This bolt will hold, this bolt right here will hold, I'm gonna tighten this good and tight. It'll sandwich on that pin. That's a piece of steel I bored out and machined down to fit the bearings. And it'll sandwich good and tight on there so that these plates can't warp at all. And I have a big C-clamp on here holding this together. Then I can commence to welding that, and that should stay exactly where I want to put it at. That should hold that table up. The wheel's plenty strong, the tubing's plenty strong, and 4 1/2-inch bolts, yeah, I'd say they ought to be plenty strong too. I got both legs in this thing now, the both back legs with rollers on them, and I'm going to make some front legs on here. I've got that piece of threaded rod that I'm going to take and use this on the bottom. It's going to make an adjustable. I got to make an adjustable foot for that. I drilled these 2 plates out right here, 1/2-inch steel plates, 1/2-inch from, they're 6 inches long, 1/2 inch from each end and 1 inch in, and that lines up really pretty with the pattern right here on the table that's already there. So right between these 2 bolts right here gets a hole, between these 2 bolts here gets a hole, and between right dead center and between all of these right here get a hole, and right here get a hole. And it looks decent when it's done, and the bolts come through from the bottom. This will be threaded all the way through again, and that'll be bolted up there. So this here, I drilled a 1/2-inch hole in there to use that piece of threaded rod to sandwich them together. I haven't cut the post yet, but then I left these. I need to drill these out to fit this, and for the bottom of the leg, with the nuts to be added on, and I didn't want to drill these out yet because I want to use this for the threaded rod to tighten up on this piece of steel right here when I weld it on there. And I had to fix my welder. I got these plates drilled out in the milling machine over there, and now I got to drill these 4 holes, you know, chamfer these 4 holes right here, 5, and on both plates, and then I'm going to cut the tubing for the other part over there. But that's where we're at. We got the back legs on it. They're solid as a rock. I don't know how you tear them off there, but they're damn solid. When I get it all done, I'll show you some better pictures of the legs and the back and everything. But that's all done, and I just thought I'd give you a quick update. So I got to go back to work. I got to cut the tubing for the legs yet. I got to figure out the length of that yet, and then get busy putting that together. Right now, I have to just get ready to chamfer these pieces right here so we can carry on with the project. I had to fix the bandsaw. Back it back out a turn, take about 7 more thousandths, oil it up, turn it on. Clearance, lock it back in on the 2. Back it back out to where it was at. Get by there 7 thousandths. Put it off in clearance, come around at 4, lock it in, put it back where it was at. Take another 7 thousandths. Turn it on. Clearance. Turn on the 2. Lock it in. Back it back out. About 6 thousandths this time. Let's go 7. Oil it up. Clearance, turn on the 4, lock it in, back it out. clearance. Run a 2, lock it in. Back to everything set up like it was. 7 more thousandths. I'm cutting oil. Clearance. Around the 4, lock it in. Back to where it's at. 3, 4, another 7. Got plenty of oil. Turn it. Clearance. Come on to 2. Lock it in. Back where it is at. 6, 7. Clearance. Around the 4, lock it in. Bring it back out. 4, 5, 6. Narrow it up. Clearance. Hit the 2. Back to 0. There's 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn it on. Clearance. Unlock it. I guess you want to go. Get it on the 4. Lock it in. Come back around here. Put it on 0. Let's get another 6 thousandths. More oil. Clearance. 2. Back to 0. 6 more. Clearance. Tell you what, I don't think we're that close yet, but I want to check it. I got all the holes drilled in this thing now, and I've been working on these legs, these feet, for quite some time to build these feet. Here's one here. It's got a piece of 1-inch thick steel that was threaded on the lathe to 1.5 inches by 6. That's one part of it. The nut was twice as thick. I didn't want that thick a nut, so I cut the nut in half and machined it down flat here, so it'd be nice and I'd put it on the threaded rod and machined it in the lathe so it would be nice and true to the threads. So the bottom would line up to that, nice and flat, not be crooked. This second piece, this here is already together, but I machined 2 flats on the threaded rod right here. It fits an 1 1/8 wrench. I can turn this if I want to. This is intentionally left loose in here, right there, so that it can pivot on there depending on the floor. The floor in my shop's pretty level, so it don't got to pivot very much. And this here was made out of a piece of 4-inch a rod out of a hydraulic cylinder. I had machined the chrome off and the hard facing, believe it or not, but then I sawed the pieces out, and that's what this piece here was made out of. And that here was made out of a piece of just regular old, tubing, but it seemed like it's pretty hard tubing, but I cut it off, a little ring there. And that bolt that screws in here has got a piece of brass 3/8 rod underneath it, so the bolt tightens down against the brass 3/8 rod, which keeps it from coming loose. And then the car tire tread out of the car tire, you can see the steel belted radial tire. That's going to get, it's tight when it goes up in there, so it's going to stay in there. And I thought about screwing it, but I don't really think I need to. But anyway, this is the foot that's going to go on it. I've got this in here all set up to be welded right now. I can't put this on there yet. Anyway, this is going to go back over here. But this table, setting this leg up, I got all this here is rusted. I just glass beaded all this piece here to get it nice and clean, so that I wouldn't worry about cleaning it after I got it all together. And and I get these things welded up and ready to bolt them on there. I'll come back and show you some more. But this, having this table, you know, nice and solid and flat and all that. This 1.5 bar. This needs to be 1.5 off the table. Well, this bar right here is 1.5 thick, so I just throw the bar underneath there. This here's laying, the edge of this is laying down the table. The other side right here, I've got 2 1-inch blocks right here with a 1.5 inch on top of it, so there's 1.5 inch there. So that lines all this up real nice and, you know, nice and neat and smooth and everything. So everything's lined up, you know, real easy. It makes it real easy to line it up. And it's got that threaded rod through there, and I've tightened it up good and tight, so nothing's going to move. Now I'm going to take it over to where my welder's at and weld this all the way around here and around here. Then I can screw this whip back in it and bolt it to the table, and we're done. Alright, well, I just wanted to show you where we were at with this. I've been working days on this thing, making all these pieces and stuff to make for these feet. I can't believe the amount of time it's taken to make these feet. The metal, this big nut like thing I made right here, I've got this all, I chamfered it all around for the welding and stuff, and I chamfered the other side, then I smoothed it all, you know, radiused all the corners and everything so it's nice and smooth. So when you're down there turning the nut and stuff, it ain't never going to nick your tear your skin or nothing, you know. So that's why, you know, I went through the extra trouble to do that. I just wanted, you know, something I'll be working around. I wanted it nice and slick and everything. But trying to make all them different pieces for them feet took a long time. But anyway, let me get this here together, and we're just about done with this project. It won't be too much longer. We'll have it wrapped up, and I can't wait to use it. All right, I'll bring you back later when we get the legs on it. Well, I got the front legs all done. They're all attached. The whole thing's pretty much, it's not complete yet. I still got to build one crossbar that's going to go, a temporary, that's going to go between the front legs, that I can use my floor jack to jack it up, and then I can pull the thing around on the back wheel so I can just drive it anywhere I want to go with the floor jack. I've got to cut my hydraulic press set up that way. I got a arbor press that's got a super heavy base I made for it. It's set up that way, and it works out pretty slick because, you know, the floor jack, you can steer it anywhere you want to go. Right now the table weighs close to, it's over 400 pounds altogether, assembled and everything. So, you know, it's pretty heavy, and it takes some pretty substantial, you know, casters to roll around. But I didn't want the thing to, you know, you jerk on it, and you can move it if you jerk on it hard enough, but it's pretty solid. It doesn't move too easy, which is, that's what I wanted. You know, the purpose of the back wheels on there was so I can move it. But those tire pads on those front casters, front feet right there, they really hold it in place. I put this on the table. This should give you a little demonstration why I go through all of this. Well, one second here. I was watching a YouTube video, and that Jeremy Smith built that tilting belt sander, and I thought that was pretty slick, and I bought his plans. You can watch his videos on 2x270 tilting belt grinder. Jeremy Smith, he made that, and I thought that was really slick, so I bought these. I'm in the process. I've got about half of it built already, and I'm in the process of setting this all up to space the motor out to see how the holes are going to line up with, you know, the frame, and there's got to be a piece of steel put in here yet. And then this is all clamped down with milling machine clamps, so this is just rock solid. We're in place right here. It allows me to set this all up, to get my parts all clamped in the spot where I want to put them at. That's the main reason behind this. It just makes, you know, it holds this stuff all, this piece right here all nice and true, so I can take my motor and just get my pulley spacing and all that, and figure the hole spacing out and everything. It just, you know, then I'll be able to you know, tack it in place on here or whatever. If I got to turn it up to weld it over there, but it'll be tacked without warping. It'll be held in place when I do that. But that's the purpose. That's why I wanted to build this. It helped me out so much. All the 256 holes are in the table. The other 16 are in the leg. 22.8 feet of steel was drilled and tapped, and then there was you figure there's another 2 inches of steel for each one of the leg supports, 2, 4, 6, 8. So another 8 inches of steel was drilled for that. And then you figure the 1 inch steel plate in the bottom was drilled out, and it was threaded on the lathe. That part of this video I showed you was threading it on the lathe, and that worked out good. They're all welded on and everything. But this, I just was looking on eBay, and the price of one of these things is just unbelievable how much they charge for a table like this. I didn't know you could buy it, to be honest with you. And I thought it was something I thought of. But using the milling machine clamps, you know, that's cast me out on here. That's just, you know, hold your place. You know, so easy to clamp stuff down. When I get my shaper going over there, I'm going to mill off a bunch of thick angle iron pieces and make them, you know, 90 degrees, so I can use it to support stuff going up, and it'll hold it true vertical. And I want to get that. I got to get that gear fixed in there for that shaper, that 20-inch G&E shaper over there. But that's where we're at right now. I'll show you a couple pictures of the feet down here. But it's that's how they turned out. Let me take this camera back off here once. There's the front feet. There's their tabletop, and here's the front feet of the thing. I'll zoom in on them a little bit, but they're, you know, they're sitting nice and pretty down there. And there's the back wheels back here. I'll wind it back out a little bit. You can see how the back wheels turned out on there. They're pretty substantial. Them wheels got solid steel. You know, they got rubber coated on the solid steel with big bearings in there. And when I made these things, the pin side was pretty big. So I took and made a bushing out to go in there to fit the bearings. And then this piece right here, I didn't want any bolt heads sticking out of here. So I milled a slot in here so I could turn this, and there's a flat mill on the other side. You probably can't see that wheel over there, but there's a little bolt down the bottom of the thing, a little 1/4-inch bolt screws up in the bottom, hits the flat in there, that holds that thing in place. That's how I put those in there, and I didn't figure I needed to weld this. It's got, you know, good heavy welds on each side. So, and the front legs, they're all, you know, rock solid and stuff. The table is, like I said, it's over 400 pounds. It's going to do what I need to do. If I need to weld something that would fit in the top table, I'll just put a support on it and hold it up, you know, off to the side. But I want to give you a last update on how this thing turned out. I still need to paint the legs, and I need to build that right down here in the front. I'm going to build me a cross support that goes from down here low here to the other leg on the other side over here. That's going to be pinned in place that I can, you know, slide the floor jack in there and jack it up to move it wherever I want to move it. But more than likely it's going to set wherever I put it at by the welder, so I can, you know, it'll always be sitting right there. But anyway, thanks for your time. If you like these videos, please give me a thumbs up or something. You know, give me a comment or something and inspire me to make some more of them. And anyway, enjoy. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for your time. Goodbye.